Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Indianapolis International Airport, where there is no shortage of people flying. In fact, 2023 was a record year here at Indianapolis International for passengers arriving and departing. Traffic here now back to pre-pandemic levels, about a year earlier than anticipated. But Indy is not the only aviation hub in Indiana experiencing growth. Fort Wayne International saw passenger traffic jump more than 10% last year. Meantime, federal funds are pouring into Indiana for airport improvements. The federal government approving nearly $1 billion for improvements to more than 100 airports nationwide, including 3 in Indiana. Fort Wayne getting nearly $22 million to modernize an airport already in the middle of a $70 million expansion to its east terminal. In southwest Indiana, Huntingburg Regional Airport will get nearly $3.5 million to go toward construction of a new terminal building that was announced earlier.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking.
And Evansville Regional getting about the same amount of federal funding to make big upgrades to its facility. But there is concern in Evansville and southwest Indiana about the lack of direct air service to 2 important markets, Chicago and Detroit. Markets very important to Evansville-based Old National Bank and Toyota Motor Manufacturing in nearby Princeton, just to name a few. In 2022, Evansville lost service to both Chicago and the Motor City, and there is real concern the region may lose business because of it. Local officials and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation have been working to get that service back. The governor's office has been involved too. It's an issue that is top of mind for Southwest Indiana.
This is a huge issue for the business community in Southwest Indiana. The reality is that we have, limited corporate headquarters here. And when those headquarter businesses need to get personnel to Chicago, to Detroit, or to other cities through those gateway airports, it's a big hindrance to us. So what we think it does, it puts those headquarters at risk of potentially leaving here. None have threatened to do so yet, but we know that cities our size have greater challenges. And so in terms of keeping headquarters in our community, so we need every asset available. And that includes direct air service to Chicago, Detroit. The airlines know that this is not just the greater Evansville region with our hand up saying, hey, we want service restored. They're hearing from the highest levels of state government that this is really important to business in Indiana. So it is literally all hands on deck.
Evansville once had as many as 7 daily flights to Chicago. The airlines blaming the pilot shortage on the need to cut service to markets like Evansville. Winicky says he remains optimistic the region can restore service, perhaps yet this year. Well, I mentioned at the top of the show, record passenger numbers here at Indianapolis International Airport. Airport Authority Executive Director Mario Rodriguez tells me one of the driving factors is business traffic.
We just did a survey recently that showed that business and leisure are almost at the same level that they were in pre-2019, which we expected to take a little bit longer, about a year to pick up, but everything seems to be coming back online, and we're incredibly excited about that.
Rodriguez says the level of nonstop flights has recovered too, with a focus on key business clusters.
California, for example, on the tech side, we've got a lot of nonstops to California. We have a lot of nonstops to areas that pharma concentrates on. So we make sure we serve the business community as well as we can. Now, there is system capacity that's restricting our ability to reach different locations. But right now, before in 2019, we had 50 nonstop destinations. Right now, we have 49, which is a solid 49, and a lot of them serve our industrial clusters.
The one missing nonstop, a highly coveted route to Europe that was lost at the outset of the pandemic.
We're concentrating, looking at different airlines, and we're talking to them, us and the governor's office. It's very important to reestablish that European connection. Although we've established, most of the other connections are already solid. So that's the last one to fall, the last domino to fall, which we're focusing in on it with 100% of our efforts. The airline and the aviation industry is not immune to what's happening nationwide and worldwide. There's a lot of retirees. A lot of people need employees because a lot of employees have retired and a lot of crews have retired. So once those crews are replenished, but it takes in the United States about 1,500 hours more or less to actually train a pilot. That's happening right now. But the industry didn't see this happen. What COVID did is it compressed a decade of change into about 3 years. So we got to wait until all these crews are retrained, the capacity comes up, which is going to happen. The capacity will come up and we'll have more capacity in the system and we'll be able to serve our public even better than we are now.